What was the will of God? To come for his sheep. And who was his sheep at that very moment? The blind man. There were so many people around them that saw the miracle, they didn't want to believe. The parents knew the miracle, still didn't want to proclaim the Christ. The Pharisees call themselves disciples of Moses. They believe in Moses over God himself right there and then. And what does Jesus say? For judgment I've come into this world, that those who do not see may see, and those who see may become blind. They saw Jesus, ladies and gentlemen. That was the point. And they're blind now. Their guilt remains. Me and my daughter were reading John last night, and I actually want to read this full scripture and to show the true power of God. Not man, but the true power of God. Let's get into it. As he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth. And his disciple asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Look at Jesus' answer. Jesus answered, it was not that this man sinned or his parents, but the works of God might be displayed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me while it is day. Night is coming, no one can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Let's continue. Having said these things, he spit on the ground and made mud and saliva. And he anointed the man's eyes with mud, said to him, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which means sent. So he went and washed and came back seeing. The neighbors and those who had seen him before as a beggar were saying, is it not the man who used to sit and beg? Some said, it is he. Others said, no, he is like him. He kept saying, I am the man. They seen this man for a long time begging blind, and they still didn't want to believe. Some were saying it wasn't him. Some were saying it was him. The man is crying out, I am he. I am the man. So they said to him, then how were your eyes opened? He answered, the man called Jesus made mud and anointed my eyes and said to me, go to Siloam and wash. So I went and washed and received my sight. They said to him, where is he? He said, I do not know. You have to remember, he never saw Jesus at any point. He was blind, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. They brought to the Pharisees the man who had formerly been blind. Now it was a Sabbath day when Jesus made the mud and opened his eyes. So the Pharisees asked him how he had received his sight. And he said to them, he put mud on my eyes and washed, and I see. Some of the Pharisees said, so this man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath. But others said, how can a man who is a sinner do such things? And there was division among them. So they said again to the blind man, what do you say about him since he has opened your eyes? He is a prophet. The Jews did not believe that he had been blind and had received his sight until they called his parents of the man who received his sight. Asked them, is this your son who you say was blind? How then does he now see? His parents answered, we know that this is our son, that he was born blind. But how now he sees, we do not know, though we know how who opened his eyes. Asked him, he is of age.